Hey, this is Jason Kanigan for Friday, May 22nd. This is the 46th episode of Make Space Boring, the quick update on who I'm meeting and what I am studying in the space field. Remember, we are on a mission to make space boring, which means normalizing space, making things calm. The waters are calm. Investors can put their money in and know that they'll have a great chance of getting a return. Nobody's guessing. Things aren't exploding. And the public is going to space jobs and working there and buying space-made products and services like they do with terrestrial Wi-Fi and use public transit today. That's the whole idea behind Make Space Boring. So I have a full format interview show called The Cold Star Project, and the episodes that came out this week were with Craig Clark of AAC Clyde Space. He's a pioneer in the UK small sat industry. Fascinating story. Really enjoyed how he sort of crept into the startup business. He didn't mean to do it. Initially he didn't think of himself as a businessman, and then gradually more and more found himself in this leadership position. And now he's running this great company that makes small sats at a pace that would frankly make other people wince. Also talked with Fabien Royer. He is a PhD candidate at Caltech, and he was the 2019 co-chair of something called the Caltech Space Challenge. Now, this is a really cool thing, and I'm extremely jealous that I never had the chance to participate in it. It is open not just to Caltech students, but to any student, graduate or undergrad, all over the world. So you get on the plane at your airport in Australia or Saudi Arabia or wherever you happen to be, and they fly you there, they put you up at a hotel, and they make you work. It's a week-long thing. But you get a tour of JPL, you get all these lectures, great networking experience, and you're split into two teams of 16, and you're told, hey, figure out a way to solve this problem. And I think this year it was flying probes through plumes coming out of one of the Jovian moons to find out is there life there or something. So there was a lot of information in that episode. It came out on Thursday with Fabien Roettgen. So all this stuff is linked to in the description below. So that Caltech Space Challenge is really something impressive, and it only happens every 2 years. So that's why there is no 2020 Caltech Space Challenge, but you could get in line to be considered for the 2021 one. I recorded with Raphael Roettgen on Monday of E2MC. They are an advisory, like a sort of VC and investment advisory firm for space companies. A lot of experience there, a lot of folks that they're attached to that they can bring into projects. Raphael is the first of the season 3 episodes. These interviews are going to be strictly with venture capitalists and investors who fund space companies. So that's the direction we're going in. There's still a lot of season 2 tech type, founder type episodes that I've recorded and will be releasing, so don't worry, the whole theme of the show isn't going to change. But we are interested in the money. Where is the money? Where does the money come from? What stops the money from flowing into space companies? And I think you'll agree that that's the right direction, because if there is no investment, we got nothing, right? And commercial space will just die. And that is not a thing that I want. I want commercial space to succeed. Speaking of that, I have been encouraged to write an article on money policy, I guess, for the International Institute of Space Commerce, and Chris Stott asked me to write, so I got started on that. That article should come out next week, I would imagine. I mean, I don't know what their approval process is like, but I'll have it written by the end of next week. I've had a lot of fun researching it. I spent most of my deep work day. If you don't know what that is, the link below will explain. I learned a long time ago that in order to get anything done, you have to step away from the firefighting of business. And a lot of business owners haven't learned that. Anybody who's a client of mine gets to find out pretty quickly that you need to do this. And of course, everybody panics. Oh no, what's going to happen? The house will not burn down just because you weren't looking at the stove every 5 seconds for half a day or an entire day. But the problem is we will not begin what I will call, what Cal Newport calls, deep work projects, if you know that there's a chance, just a chance, of being interrupted sometime in the next couple of hours. And if you're a programmer or a writer or an artist or something like that, technical guy who does research, you will not even begin the project if you know, well, somebody might come along and bump me out of it a bit, because what's the point? So I have learned to wipe those days off my calendar. You cannot get to me on those days if I don't want you to. And that enables me to get a lot done. Some people wonder how I get all this content out. It's simple. I know when my golden hours are, which is a thing that I was quoted in Inc. magazine about years and years ago, about productivity. and I know how to batch and get a whole lot of stuff done that's very similar at the same time. So I use my time effectively. Anyway, we've still got those 2 office hour slots out there. I'm frankly surprised that, there's been a lot of support from the people who know me in the space industry, but haven't really had any inquiries from folks who want to do this. So either everybody's broke, in which case I fear for you mightily, or you just don't believe I can help you. Well, I would message me if you think that there's a possibility and ask. It's not like you're tractor beamed in to have to work with me. If you just reach out and message me and say, hey, I've got a problem in this area, do you think you can solve it? And I think everybody who knows me would tell you, if Jason doesn't know what he's talking about in that area, he'll tell you. I have no problem saying I don't know and maybe referring you on to somebody I do know who's a specialist in that area. But if it's got to do with sales and marketing, positioning, business model, and operations improvement, process improvement, manufacturing, supply chain, those things, man, you could get a lot of value from talking to me. So you could reach out and message me about those if you feel like it. That's it for me. This is going to be a strange weekend. I feel the energy is a little strange. I think it's going to be more of a working type weekend, and I will see you next week.